Hi there, this is Zale Tabakman, and today we're going to talk about the Local Grown Salads Opportunity Zone Fund, and we're going to talk specifically about the fund's big idea. So let's get started. The LGS Baltimore Opportunity Zone Fund is a Reg D 506C fund only open to verified accredited investors through subscription. The presentation is only for informational purposes. Fund details are in the private placement memorandum, and this is one of a series of presentations on the fund. Let's talk about the backstory. Okay, this is a little bit about Zale Tabakman. I've been in high tech before it was fashionable. Check my LinkedIn profile for more details. I was Entrepreneur of the Year in the city of Toronto. I have been doing R&D consulting in many industries, and two that we're going to talk about today are food and manufacturing. And I have an expertise in manufacturing, obviously, marketing, and I also know how to structure a business for profit, meaning that I look at all the aspects of the bill of materials, the production costs, and pricing, and all the way through, and how it affects the margins. Local Grown Salads started because I was involved in two R&D projects. One was with a sandwich manufacturer. You know, there's actually guys who do this. They manufacture sandwiches for hotels under the specific recipes for the hotels. And I had another guy who was working in greenhouses. And the problem I'm in Toronto, and the problem in Toronto is that sometimes you can't get certain lettuces or certain things that might be spec'd by the chef in the sandwich. So therefore, you always had to do substitutions. It was always a large problem. The second challenge, of course, was the greenhouses and feeding my kids. So the idea came to me: why don't we start growing things on the roof of buildings? And we quickly did the numbers, and that's how we ended up in indoor vertical farming inside warehouses. Growing stuff in indoor vertical farming is relatively easy when you do very small amounts. You can do it in your apartment, you can do it in your basement, you can do it great. The challenge is when you want to start delivering 10,000 pounds a week of basil to a client. And that's where the problem began and why we solved the problem. Okay, why now? There are economic, technology, and social forces that are driving this big idea. The economic forces, of course, are the transportation costs. It costs a lot of money to ship stuff. 50% of the cost of any salad or salad vegetable in Boston and Baltimore, New York City, Chicago, Washington is 50% of it is in transportation. That transportation reflects directly to trucks. Moving those trucks are expensive, and it's getting worse. Truck drivers have all sorts of restrictions on truck drivers now for safety reasons. And on top of it, truck drivers are all retiring, and the younger guys want to get paid better than their older guys. So that's also driving up the price of trucking. And of course, the other side is opportunity zones. We're not going to really get into some of the details here, but you should know about that, and we will talk about it in another slide presentation. Okay, there's a whole bunch of technology forces. Growing vegetables is all about getting light to the vegetables and water and nutrition and air management, but that light is critical. We replace sunlight with LEDs, and they're dropping about 50% in price every 18 months, and they're producing a lot more light, which means that for every LED that we buy, and we buy a large number of them, we can grow more stuff for every dollar of electricity. Electricity itself, of course, is going down in cost. The wind, solar, wave, thermal, all these things are starting to come online. The big issue of food safety, and that's a technology issue. How do you make sure the food that you deliver is safe and is not going to get people sick? And then climate change is affecting the technology of farming. It's making it almost very, very difficult to predict, and people have massive amounts of losses. Social forces are creating the market demand. Everybody cares about what they're eating. You can't miss it. And practically it's showing up in things like organic sales are gone up by 9%. Ready to eat, 87% of Americans eat ready-to-eat salads. You buy a bag, you dump it into a bowl, and you eat it. The organic slice of that market, and they actually subdivide that market up into a whole bunch of different parts, is in itself a $1.1 billion industry. The whole industry is $7 to $9 billion. $9 billion. And then the whole concept of local foods, we define local as being within 2 hours of where the person who eats the food is. And that classifying it that way is a $20 billion industry. And of course, we're local, organic, ready-to-eat salads. And then there's a whole aspect of impact investing, people who are putting their money to use and want to make a good return, but they also want the world to be a slightly better place because they invested their money. What is our big idea? Very simple. We're focusing on customers who are retailers, restaurants, and distributors, and they currently are purchasing all their vegetable salad parts and things from California and Mexico, shipping them 1,500 miles. We provide ready-to-eat salads, herbs, and vegetables to these people, and they are fresh, healthy, and food safe. Unlike our competitors, such as Dole, Fresh Express, Organic Girl, Earthbound, and our products can be on your plate within 2 hours of being harvested. They're pesticide-free, herbicide-free, fungicide-free, GMO-free. And when they're actually growing them, they're in the cities, and we're providing jobs, and we're helping people. What's our secret sauce? Our herbs, greens, and vegetables can all be grown at the same place in the same time, as opposed to bringing stuff from different parts of the country and merging them together, which is essentially what a chef does when he produces a salad. That means our salads are a culinary taste, and they're for people who love to eat. And I'm sure everybody who's watching this video right now loves to eat. Everything is harvested and available the same day. That really means the stuff is super duper fresh. The taste is excellent. And the nice thing about vegetables, the stronger the taste, it means it has more nutritional content. Vegetables start losing their nutritional content the moment they're cut. So if you eat a 3-day-old lettuce does not have the same nutritional content as a lettuce that was picked today. And that, of course, increases the shelf life for the retailers. And, of course, it means that when you buy that salad and sitting in your home, it'll last that much longer. And then the way we use our technology, we maximize every dollar of electricity. That's our main input. And we want to make as much money off every dollar of electricity as we possibly can. That, of course, increases our profit margins. It also enables us to have predictable and repeatable results, which customers love. They like to know when stuff is shipping and it's going to ship and be there. And all of this is, of course, wrapped in a patent-pending technology with trade secrets. What's in it for you? You get the income from equity ownership in farms in the big they're part of it. You get the rent from the farms because we also own the building. You get capital appreciation from the farm when the farm is sold after the whole period. Remember, we are an OZF, so there's a long hold period. Capital gains from appreciation of the farm building. Again, that's a longer hold. It's a long hold period because OZF. Then you get your own tax benefits, which you can figure out with your accountant. We've structured it as a local LPGP. And with a 80% to the LP and 20% to the GP. The GP has a 10% hurdle rate. So we, the GP, only get paid after you receive 10% per annum on your equity portion, and we only get paid on the building and the building side after you receive 6.8%. Then we split it 80 to you, 20 to us. See the private placement memorandum for all the details. And that is about it. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. The private placement memorandum should be out next little bit. I look forward to talking to you and seeing you then. Bye for now.